Good morning, Mercedes. From, oh my God, my brain. From Masaya Homes, good morning. I'm so excited to learn about your product and yourself and your business. Because the one thing that caught my attention was the materials and your designs. That's why I put it, it's on the bulletin. They're not like it's not like the others. So yeah. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead, Mercedes. Thank you so much.
And if you guys have any questions, feel free to interrupt. I love questions, and conversation, so I don't want to talk to myself. So yeah, Masaya Homes started as a reforestation project, which is probably my favorite part about it, in Nicaragua. So we have planted over 1 million trees, and we have about 1,400 acres of forests there. We also recently were able to get our FSC certification. And we also have a couple divisions of the company. So Masaya Homes, which is the ADU company, Masaya Co. So we also make furniture. And then Masaya Teak, which is building materials, so decking, cladding, that we can sell separately from the ADUs that we build. But focusing on the ADUs, we utilize teak in all of the structural interior components. So we don't typically use any sheetrock or anything like that. All teak. Our cabinetry is teak from our forests. We utilize a panelized system. So in our factory in Nicaragua, they put together the structural components of the ADU, make sure everything fits. Then we flat pack it and ship it up here so that our construction team can assemble it on site. Another great component is because we have a construction team, we do everything in-house. So you don't have to hire an electrical subcontractor or plumber or architect. We already have our plans to submit for permitting, and we handle all the permitting coordination as well. So really it's a turnkey product where we, build the ADU and provide everything you need to go in it. Oh, go ahead. Was there a question? So we provide all of the appliances as well for all of our models. And our smallest is 120 square feet, which is not an ADU, but an accessory structure, with our largest model being 1,200 square feet. It's the floor plans are not yet on the website. We just finalized that design. And we can also, which I'm, maybe other prefab companies can do as well, but we have in contract 2 of our larger units, an 800 and a 1,200 to build as a primary dwelling. So not only ADUs, but we're working on utilizing our system for a main house as well.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, which is we're really excited about that one. I mean, all of the ADUs, obviously, with California, very stringent on building code, Title 24. And so we meet all those already. There's really no distinction in like the product for using it as a main, primary dwelling, other than the permitting being a little bit different and taking a little bit longer, but yeah. Do you guys have any questions before I keep talking?
I'm just excited to learn a little bit about the your sustainable forests.
Yeah.
Get your materials.
Yeah. So, like I said, the reforestation project started almost 20 years ago, and that's really what kicked off the company. Both Olin, who's the co-founder of Masaya Homes, and Aram met in the Peace Corps, and we're in Nicaragua. Aram and his wife still live in Nicaragua. Because Olin lives here in the Bay Area, but that's really what started everything, was rebuilding forests that used to be cow pastures. So a lot of the forests, and we have a video too I can share where you can like view the forest. Carrie Tarno, who's a YouTuber, recently visited and toured our forest and our factory, and so there's some interviews there. But yeah, we only use or we leave about 40% of the forests untouched, and we never clear a forest. So we're not going in there and just like chopping down trees. We the process of growing teak is a long process, and we have to thin trees. So we grow them really close together at first so that they grow straight. But as they get older, we have to thin them so that, you know, they're not taking as much water or nutrition from the other ones, the other trees. And so in that thinning process is where we use different parts of our wood. So the younger wood sometimes is used for cutting boards, interior furniture, because it doesn't need to be as hardy. Sometimes the interior walls of the ADU, depending on the finish that we end up using. And then the older teak is used for any exterior furniture, or the exterior of the ADUs. And so, yeah, so that's kind of how we are utilizing the wood without clearing any of the forests. And we also employ, I think it's about almost 400 or 500 people in Nicaragua, which is to help, you know, help them there, and to have a safe, you know, safe working environment as well. That's one of the benefits of prefab is, which I'm very passionate about, is like the psychological and like mental health factors of prefab construction. My husband is in construction, and so you know, you think about that a lot, and how prefab leans more to a safer work environment because you're not having to be in, you know, outside in weather that is like very challenging in the heat, because they go together faster. And then for those in our factory, they're in an environment that they're working inside, which just is a lot safer as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about the factory and the forests. I'm trying to think of anything else.
The other thing I liked about the material is that it is, teak is a material it's four season and climate.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
acclimates well to different climates. So
Yeah.
one of the questions I had for you, because I have a client that's doing a development near the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing materials for ocean air is important.
Yes. Yeah. So that's a question we actually get a lot, is like, oh, is teak like, is it gonna be okay with the ocean air, or is it gonna be okay with this? And teak is a hardwood and is one of the strongest hardwoods. And is also very resilient. So teak is like known to be used for boat decking. Like that's a very common use for it, which obviously is going to be affected by the environment and the water. And so we know that it's resilient to ocean air. Also, teak is, because of its naturally oily properties, it's pest resistant, so it doesn't often get termites, and I mean other pests that eat hardwoods. It's also fire resistant up to a certain, I can't remember what it is, but it takes a lot longer for it to burn. So those are some of the things that I think are really important to learn about teak. And the way that we finish the exterior of our ADUs is like a pre-weathering finish. And so we call it like a driftwood finish, so that the maintenance of it is a lot easier. We're not having to go out there and like you would paint a house, or having, you know, you don't have to oil it either. So most of the exterior is that gray patina pre-weathered teak, and then we do have like accent pieces where it's that golden. I can actually probably share on our website so you can see. that coloring there. Let's see, let's go to zoom. There we go. So yeah, we have that gray color here that you can see. And then our slatted panels here for the windows and glass. And then right here where right under the roof line is more of that honey color, but we don't ever use like a poly on there, so it's not going to like chip or start peeling. It's just a natural, you know, teak oil. So it's very easy and like in low maintenance.
Mercedes, when you look at maintenance, is there recommendations like every so many years that you do have to apply any sort of oil or sealant?
Yeah, I would say like if you want to keep, hold on, my computer's dying. Let me plug it in real quick. If you want to keep that golden color on the accent, a year and a half, 2 years, but we've had some builds that have been I mean exposed, you know, to the sun for 3 years, and they still look really great and haven't started to weather to that gray. I think it depends on like where you are and how much exposure you have to the elements. But this gray color here, you wouldn't have to touch that at all. There's like nothing you have to do because it already is going to fade to that gray color. The same with the decking. So really it's just that honey
Like
golden
the same-
brown.
Yeah, the same concept on how you maintain your decking. Same.
Exactly. Yeah. Or if you have like a redwood fence that you go out and, you know, you're just oiling up, it's the same. So, you know, 1 to 2 years if you want to keep it looking 100% fresh, but you could also let it weather and then the whole thing would be a more of a gray patina color, which some of our clients have opted to just let it and not refinish those golden accents.
Hey, Mercedes, when you said there's no sheetrock that you use,
Correct.
so what about insulation? Is there more insulation or less insulation that's needed?
I wouldn't say it's more or less. We use there is insulation in the walls, obviously in the flooring and the roof. I have somewhere if I need to pull the R values. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But it's just typical insulation. The only time we have used sheetrock is if we're in a very high fire severity zone and we're under the 5-foot setback. So, you know, typical zoning is 4 feet setback, but fire is 5 feet setback. So if we're under that 5 feet, we've had to do a sheetrock, not on the whole unit, but just on the wall closest to that setback. And then it kind of pops out a little. I forgot like the little L, and I don't remember how far, but it's the only instance that we've ever had to use a sheetrock for that 1 hour firewall. But in like other, like in the wildland urban interface WUI zone, we don't have to it wouldn't be exposed, so it's a lesser requirement than being within that setback. So most of our units have all teak, and you don't have any sheetrock. I think we've only had to do that once.
So you had some interior photographs there?
I do. Let's see. Let's click on, here's one. So this one here, and I can also pull up I can get out of our website and show you some other ones. This is painted. So they opted for painting the interior teak, and like I said, I can get out of the website and show you some other pictures. Let's get out so you can see a better view. So we have a few design selections as well with our ADUs, where you can select the interior walls to either be our natural finish or if you want to paint it. We also have selections for the shower and surround and countertops. And we typically share those once a client has, you know, we're further along in the process and they're ready to make some design selections. Let's open up some pictures. To go through the drive. Okay, here we are. Okay, let's see. These are some better ones so you can really get an idea of what it looks like. We also have the showroom in Berkeley. If you wanted to tour, we have an M4, which is 400 square foot model in our showroom, and then a small office outside. Okay, let's share the screen again. So this is our M4 in San Rafael. So this is looking into the bedroom. You can see here that the wall panels, like I said, they opted to paint it white, which is totally fine. We can do it. And then you can see the teak flooring here. So we have a lot of those. We bring in a lot of that golden color inside because, again, it gets less sun. So there's not that same need for the maintenance as you would for the outside. You can really see the wall panels and the trim. And then we have, let's see. Here's the exterior of that unit. So this one was actually a really big project. Another unique, I don't know if we'd call it a superpower, is we're not really afraid of difficult sites. So this site required an extensive retaining wall, which again is we coordinate that all in our scope. And then we added this little
Yeah, the deck.
area here. Yeah, the deck is like typical. So we have the 4-foot deck, but then the oh my gosh, it's not a gate. I can't like fence.
Yeah, the fence.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
that was a customized as well.
Yeah.
So we're also pretty flexible when it comes to extending the deck. Our larger unit in San Rafael, our M8, has a 10-foot deck and it like wraps around a little bit. Again, we have our construction team and all the materials are ours, so we're not having to, you know, we just, hey, send in some more with our next shipment and then we can have it sent. But we're not having to like coordinate with like a factory somewhere else. This is Kenny. You can't really see Kenny here, but we love Kenny. He is Olin's dad and is retired, but helps us out. So retired, not retired. And he's worked in construction as well for many, many years. And then this one was a modified M1. So our M1 is like, again, our 120 square foot, but they wanted to extend that roof line. So they had this deck here. And this is such a beautiful site, but again, extremely difficult access. These panels had to be carried up and around, which again is unique. Like if we were to use cranes, you would never be able to access sites like these. And like, what a beautiful view. And pictures of a dog. I think we have some more here, but I'm trying to, we might have some pictures of an M8 in here. That's Mark. Yeah, so here's some other pictures of inside. Trying to get to the kitchen because there we go. It's like one of my favorite parts. So typically we do a cooktop but they opted for a range. And we actually updated our kitchen. And so that's why I'm really excited to show it. The cabinetry is updated and we have inset drawers for like knives and just like other components to use the space more. And then we added some upper cabinets as well. And then this countertop is our standard countertop as well. So it's
That quartz?
beautiful. It's a Pental quartz. Yeah. And this is Santenay honed, which is our standard in the design package. And again, that's all included in the price of the unit. Here's a good picture of it.
It's so pretty.
It is. So if you visit our showroom, it has our older model kitchen, which is why I really like showing this, because it's really an elevated space with the updates that we made. Yeah.
What size unit is that one?
This is the 400 square foot unit. So it's 1 bedroom, full kitchen, 1 bathroom. I think we have some pictures of yeah, here it is. We added this built in here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, just trying to use more of that space because, you know, they are smaller.
Yeah.
And so they added a sofa in this space and then the kitchen's right there. But yeah, I mean, this is like such a beautiful unit. Here's the bathroom here. So this is also standard. We have the screen and then the shower and surround. We can add a sliding door, but that would just be an upgrade. But I mean, this is beautiful and like a use of space is great. On that note too, I can share with you all, we're doing an open house in San Rafael on the 31st for our 800 square foot model, which is really exciting for us. So I can share the invite. And if that time isn't good, feel free to let me know and I could always, you know, welcome to tour another time. Yeah.
Well, that's just a good excuse to have to go to San Rafael.
Yeah. Oh, here are some pictures of our 800. Like I said, there's a little bit less of this. This one's in Solvang. And so, yeah. A little bit farther out.
And what size is that one?
This one is 800 square feet. So this one's a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. This is their little boys' room. So what excites me about this project is it's not a rental or, you know, like the couple is living in this unit.
Their home.
It's their home. And that makes me really happy.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So this is his bathroom. They opted for a tub in his bathroom. And then they selected one of our other shower and surround color options.
Do you have an exterior?
Yeah, the one that I showed you before was the exterior, but you can't see
yeah.
much in that one. Here, is that a better one? This is their bedroom. So in the master bedroom in the M8, they have a double vanity, which is really nice as well. Here's partial exterior.
Yeah.
And they've been up for a little while.
Yeah.
And they also extended their deck, which is one of the most common additions that people add. I think that's the end of these ones. Yeah. And they also did tile.
Mercedes, how about disability friendly, like the counter heights and wider halls and doors? Is that?
Yeah, we are actually working on a project, having all of those aging in place and then ADA compliant, or universal design. So one of the things is one of the clients, his mother will be living in there and she's in a wheelchair. The width of our hallways we haven't had to adjust. One of the things that we adjusted in the bathroom was not having that lip on the shower and surround. So that's an adjustment, but the rest of our transitions in all of the rooms, since it's all of the teak, we haven't had to adjust anything there. And I don't believe we adjusted anything in the kitchen for counter height, but again, because we make everything ourselves, I mean, that would, you know, we would just draw out what those changes would be like. Standard in our cost again is like that design and permit coordination, because we have all of the shop drawings pre-made, you know, ready to submit. And so that would just be, you know, working out with a client, like, hey, like how many design aspects do we need to change? We have to, you know, obviously change design drawings for the cabinetry, but things like that are great to have, because once we have them, if another client comes to us, we have it ready.
Okay.
The larger units, they come flat packed as well, right?
All of them. Mhm.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have any like modular units. They're
Yeah.
all panelized, flat pack, and put together on site. The build of the actual unit is very quick. Obviously, when we're permitting the ADUs, there's you know, inspections, and so we're having to schedule those inspections, which can add, you know, some time in that process, and we're not on site every single day because we have multiple projects going on in the Bay Area, so we're just doing different ones in phases. But putting together like the structural is the fastest. That goes together in like 2 weeks. It's really all the interior and like utility tie-ins and adding electrical and plumbing that takes a little bit longer, but the unit is put together very quickly.
So on challenging environments, like, do you have to have a trailer accessibility to right at the site, or can you mitigate that?
No, that's one of the things that we assess during a site assessment, is like the difficulty of access. Like I said, that M1, that one, I am pretty sure a truck could not fit through those roads, and it's in Tiburon. And
Yeah.
so we have to load, we have to load those up in our, we have a van or a truck, and take them and then hand walk them up. I mean, obviously it's more expensive to do that, but we can do it. I think the biggest part is not our panels, but getting in some like small machinery for the foundation. So if it's a larger unit, if we can get creative about how to get like an excavator there for foundation, then we try and do that. But if not, then we hand dig, which is not ideal, but that's, you know, we take them on.
Well, that's the thing right there. So if you're available to address those situations, that's a plus, because sometimes we might run into manufacturers.
Right. And we try and be very, you know, aware of like cost, but some of those, you know, get costly. Like one of the jobs in San Rafael, I mean, the site work and landscaping was so extensive. And it comes down to like how much is somebody, you know, the budget of somebody, you know, with those. We want to work with people to make it as, you know, smooth and streamlined as possible, as the GC, taking on as much as we can. But yeah, you know, sometimes we have to also get in, you know, some civil engineers. We need, you know, soils reports, just depending on the complexity of the project. Yeah. Oh, we have Dan jumped on. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hello.
Primary home builds going on right now?
Yeah, so we are in the permitting phase for both of those. One of them is a 1,200 square foot unit and the other one is an 800 square foot unit. They're a little bit farther outside of the Bay Area, but we're really excited about those.
They like in Sacramento, or?
Bolinas is one of them, and the other one's in Yorkville, which is up there. Yeah. Yeah, but for an M12, it'll be our very first M12, so we're excited about that. So we're like, we'll take on a little bit farther distance to build, you know,
Outside of California.
Yorkville is up, oh gosh, where not super familiar with all the cities, but that one is more northern.
No, do you
Yeah,
go outside of, do you
Yorkville,
go,
just northwest of Santa Rosa.
There you go. Yeah, that's correct. Just had to
So
Google it.
Southern California,
We did a project in Solvang, and that's the farthest we've gone down. We would like to expand to Southern California, and one of the things that we're working on right now is selling the unit, the prefab kit. And if somebody has a general contractor or builder that they're working with, then we would work together with them on, you know, selling the kit to the homeowner. But for our team to go to Southern California, it just doesn't make, it's like really expensive, and it's better for them to find somebody in the area. So that's what we're trying to work on right now, is how can we sell somebody that kit and work together.
you don't go outside of California?
Oh, we do, no, we don't go outside of California. Mm-mm.
not yet.
Prefab kit, we're trying to work on to, you know, like what would that look like? Because we want, you know, the wood is a renewable resource, right? So like I said, we're not ever chopping down forests, and we leave 40% of our forest untouched, but we plant and build so that we can plant more trees and, you know, have a larger forest. So we want to be able to use
So what
and
is your
expand outside
Yeah.
of that.
capacity? What's your current?
You know, that's a great, I don't know. That's a great question. I'd have to ask on that. Not sure.
Well, I'm just thinking, what if I, you know, I ordered, I want to order 12 houses, please.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think our factory in the state that it is right now, like we wouldn't be able to, but like that's what we're moving toward, is like, hey, how can we do this? Like if there is like a development process and somebody's like, I want to build a bunch of these, you know, like what would that look like? And so we're in the process of that, but not ready.
The one thing that I do want to highlight again is that this product is so different from the other products because it is made out of a sustainable, renewable
Mhm.
teak, which has completely different aspects and cosmetics. So it's such a great option for the consumer, the homeowners. I mean, we have a lot of ADUs, they're really getting popular right now. So,
Mhm.
and we have all the different building methods. The thing that stood out for me was that this was an all organic material build
Yes, yeah, and
and the lifetime of it.
yeah, I mean, like we've had people ask it, like, well, how long is it gonna last? And it's like, I mean, forever. You know, like taking care of it, right? Like you would, you know, take care of anything. But I mean, our goal is to make a product that is going to last a long time and isn't going to, you know, other, you know, building materials that like and off gas and just like all of that. We want to use as natural material as possible.
Which would have the least amount of environmental impact, especially in more remote locations
Exactly.
or sensitive locations
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or sensitive municipalities.
Yes. Yes, yeah, that's yeah, 100%. And we often, a lot of the people that come to us too are very concerned with like the least amount of impact as possible, which we, you know, also prefab in general is going to, you know, have a better impact on the environment because we use less materials, there's less waste, and we're not, you know, using such large machineries that are like taking up space and removing dirt, like, you know, extensive amount. So we're trying to also have like the least impact as possible, less intrusive for sure.
Can you talk a little bit about the patio furniture and the decking? Because I thought that's
Yeah. So the decking, like I said, we have it's like panelized, but we can also sell the decking material. So that's our Masaya teak division. So if somebody in Georgia was like, I want some teak decking, we can sell them that. The same with the other materials, like the trim and cladding. it's also the weathered teak. So like I said, we pre-weather it. So easy maintenance. You're not having to go out there and restain it. And that's like honestly the easiest and most customizable component of the unit is extending and the deck. I can also show you the website for the co-furniture. Let's see. So on Masaya Co-side, they've had the furniture company for, I believe, almost 11 years now. So it came before the homes. And the name Masaya comes from a town in Nicaragua, so which is known for hammock weaving, and was really the inspiration for a lot of the products here.
That's good to know.
Oh, it has a pop-up. I don't need to sign up. Let me try and get out of this pop-up real quick. Why isn't it letting me? There we go.
There you go.
So this is all of our interior furniture here. And then these are the exterior or outdoor chairs. Again, all made from the same teak that we use. These chairs are actually very comfortable too, and are highlighted in our showroom in Berkeley. So it's a shared joint showroom. So we have our furniture as well as the ADUs. But yeah, lots of options here on outdoor furniture, tables. I actually want to buy this chair. This is a newer, they just came out with a new catalog and I'm like, I want that chair. All of it is in natural teak. And so this is not finished, it's unfinished. So if you wanted to finish it, you could, but we leave it unfinished for the outdoors.
Beautiful.
I know, I'm like, I want this chair.
Forever furniture.
Forever furniture, heirloom, that's what we call it.
Yeah,
Heirloom
exactly.
furniture. The
Heirloom.
same, and the indoor furniture is gorgeous too. I used to work on the Masaya Co side for a little bit, but like I said, they updated their catalog, so I can't speak as much to it. But like I said, all of these designs, these are all hand woven in Nicaragua. So again, it relates to the culture and like the jobs there. And indoor furniture has some different finishes, which are really beautiful. I actually have a chair in here. Yeah, so I mean, this, like I said, at the showroom, if you ever want to come visit, we have Max and Blake who are at the showroom, and they could speak and help you speak to you about the furniture and help with any of that. There's our little M1.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So this one's been up I think this one, and then there's one in Portland. And these are our oldest models, about 3 years maybe, might be coming up on 3 years.
So I can see these in the Pacific Northwest part.
Yeah, this one's such a pretty view. Yeah,
a field trip to Berkeley would be so much fun.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm there typically on Fridays, sometimes on Thursdays, kind of just depends. I have two daughters, so school is starting, so sometimes we have to switch up the
School
days.
started.
Yeah, but I'm there, and so if you ever want, I mean, you're welcome to come. You don't have to set up an appointment to visit the showroom. But definitely would love for you all to visit our open house for the ADU in San Rafael if you're able to make it. And like I said, if not, I mean, you're welcome to email me and we can schedule another time to visit, because seeing them in person is so different. And then the homeowner there, Mark, loves talking about it. So I'm sure he would love to talk to you about like the process and it's a construction project too, which I think people forget about because we're not modular. We don't just drop them in. It is a construction project, not as extensive as like a stick build, but I mean, there's still lots of variables and factors that we have to account for. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
How about we get a hold of you, Mercedes?
Either by email or by phone number. So I don't know if I think I'm on here, Mercedes at Masaya Homes. I can put it in the chat.
And I'll have all of your information in the bulletin next week.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah, hang on to that.
I'm very responsive via email.
Did we go over cost of these units?
No, I did not talk about costs. So, I mean, depends on the unit. Our smallest, which is the 120 square foot, again, accessory structure, is 65,000. And then our M8, which is our largest unit that we have available on the website right now, because we're still working on the M12 pricing, is, oh, let me get it. Let me make sure I have it right. I'm going to give the wrong one. I always switch around the pricing on the M8. Okay, I was right. 445,000.
And that's for the unit, and then construction costs.
That's all in. The only thing that's like, I mean, I guess not, a couple of things that are not included would be permitting fees, right? So that's going directly to the jurisdiction, city or county, because we just don't know. Permitting is different for every site. And because we build in different cities, you know, costs are different. So permitting fees are not included. And then sales tax, but the sales tax is not all in the whole unit. It is only on like a portion of the kit that we import from Nicaragua. So that cost is not even on the website. And so depending on the size, it can range from 2,000 sales tax to like 12,000, depending on the size, but it's not a large amount in comparison to a sales tax being on the whole project or the whole ADU. So it's just on the teak kit. But everything else is included, and we share all that with the clients who are interested. So we're not giving them a contract or proposal and then there's like change order after change order. You know, we go all in from the beginning, like, hey, here's your proposal, here's your contract price. The only time that we've ever submitted or, you know, had to use a change order is if they wanted an upgrade that was outside of contract price, and we're like, oh, I actually really wanted these smart switches, and we're like, okay, so let's buy some smart switches. But yeah, so the clients know upfront exactly how much the project's going to cost.
So you said the M1200, that was the 400K.
That
And
no,
what was
that's the M8. The M12
M8?
is likely going to be, we sit around 560-ish a square foot. So for the M12, again, just a baseline price would probably be around 650,000 for the 1,200 square foot model. But like I said, that one we just finished the design plans for, so we haven't solidified a price for that to add onto the website. And we have a lot of interest in primary dwelling units for that 1,200, which is also just, it changes the cost. If it's just a plot of land, you know, and we're having to like pull utilities and just all these other variables. So we try and stick to that like baseline price, but for the M12, it's not fully defined, but I can imagine it would sit around there, thinking about our average cost per square foot.
I'm confused. You have an M8 and an M12.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, so M8 is on, all of our pricing's online. So if I can drop the website in here too. It's transparent with them. Yeah, so they go by, if you M8 800, M6 600, M12 1,200 square feet. So making it easy, we just add the number into our model. Our 800 square foot is 445,000, which we have on the website. The only one that we don't have priced on the website is the M12, the 1,200 square foot unit, because we just finished that design and are currently getting it engineered.
So if you take the M8 and it's 445,000, and then divide it so you could get a price per square foot.
Yep.
And then you can apply that to the M12.
Yep, exactly. That's what our baseline would likely be, which I think is 560 something. 568, is that right?
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's just good for ballpark, like
Yeah.
from ground up construction to be able to do a comparison and for cost effectiveness.
Yeah, I mean, and if people are, you know, we're not the cheapest option, right? Like we know that, but we're not like the most expensive option either. I think when we're talking about our ADUs, we're really, and I wouldn't even say competing, but if we're thinking of like what people are doing, it's going to be with a stick build. Like primarily people are interested in what we're doing or designing and stick building their own ADU. And when you look at the cost of that, we're extremely reasonable. You know, you're not having to pay an architect $20,000-$30,000 to design and like submit all of this. Like that's why we have these preset plans. And if people want to customize, we're pretty flexible, staying within our floor plan, but customizing, you know, different elements. That way we can have that baseline price. And we're not having to like redraw to submit for permits, which we can do, but again, it just increases the cost.
Does that answer your question, Nicole?
Yeah, I'm trying to see your website in the chat. I don't see it.
I put it here. Did you copy that? Did it work? I can also share my screen again.
I don't know where it is on my screen. Well, if you tell me, I'll just write it down.
masayahomes.com. MASAYA homes.com.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
And I'll have all our information in the bulletin, so it'll be accessible.
Yes, if you look here at our models, you can click on any model. We have our fully installed price, and then we have the baseline unit and then the installation. The baseline unit includes the prefab kit cost, but also the materials that we purchase here in the US. So that would be like appliances, glass. So this is not just the teak kit, it's like other materials for the unit. Roofing, that's part of that. So that's broken down there. We have a pretty basic floor plan, very aesthetically pleasing, but it doesn't give you a ton of information. So if you wanted to see a more in-depth floor plan with dimensions, I could send that to you as well. So we have the kitchen, bathroom, and then bedroom. And then at the bottom, we break down what's included, what's not included, and then just all of the little things here. And then, like I said, I have a design package which has more in-depth views of the appliances that we use in our design options. But we try and be as transparent as possible when it comes to price and what's included. So if you want to search, we have all that in there. Or if you want to email me and ask me, I can totally answer those questions also. You guys have any other questions?
Oh, that's good. That's
Good.
amazing. It's a beautiful
Perfect.
product. I have so many different ideas right now. I'm going to share.
Yeah.
Again, I will put all of your information in the bulletin for next week.
Perfect.
And we'll highlight the open house in San Rafael.
Yes, yeah, I can send you the information on
Yeah,
that.
that'd be great. And then we'll just keep each other posted. I'm just so
Perfect.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Thank you all as well. Nice to virtually meet everybody.
It's just gonna be, it's such a big deal because we have such a push on ADUs right now. And the different options that are available. The one thing again that caught my eye was that this is a completely different product, a different
Yes.
look. and just another really good option for us to be able to bring to our clients. So
Yeah,
really
definitely.
appreciate that. So
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
All
Thank you for inviting me.
thank you for
Thanks
being
your time,
here.
ladies.
This is just gonna be the beginning.
Yes.
All right, everybody, anybody got anything to say?
Just thank you. Appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Those are really beautiful projects.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I know, right? I'm just, I guess.
Yeah, anytime, any questions, feel free to contact me.
Thank you, Mercedes. Thank you,
Thank you.
McCann, Greg, Dan. All right, you guys, have a good week.
You
Thank
too.
you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend.
Take
Have
care.
a good day, I should say.
Take care.